The book of truth says we suffered from lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. Now knowledge is running free like a wild beast, so why do you still suffer? Simple. You can't navigate this plane of existence without law, and the truth is the law. The definition of truth. Truth are laws of order. Divine truth is the order itself of the Lord's kingdom. The divine good, the essential of order. Psalms 19 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth. These laws, which are the truth, are what brings order into your life, which in turn will set you free. John 8 and 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. You were told to seek knowledge at this time. The ones who ruled this experimental zone completely up until the year 2000 decided not to give up the light that was to be given to you during your advancement. They and their servants kept the light for themselves in order to rule you and keep you restricted in ways of thinking and living, which is actually death. Pistis Sophia. The rulers devour their matter to maintain their own empowerment and prevent souls from ascending. They believe that putting energy into creation, that is, participating in act of selfless service, could cause them to lose their own energy. But a man or a woman who will seek cannot be stopped. Through perseverance, you will break through this restriction or limitation. It is a war of attrition spiritually. You were told to study and seek knowledge. 2 Timothy 2 and 15. Study to show thyself approved unto God. The same instruction is given to the student of alchemy. Alchemy, lesson 6. Study day and night and supplicate thy Creator that he would be pleased to grant you knowledge and understanding, and that the pure spirits, which are the angels, may have communion with you and influence you. Even the angels begin to give information, but there's no reward for a lazy man. It should be clear at this period of time, well, unless you're fast asleep, that everything you were taught in all areas of life up till this point is either a half-truth or a complete lie. Hard pill to swallow. Some of you have spent your lives in school. You have master's and doctorate degrees in lies and deception. Seek knowledge. Time is short. You must have a renewal of the mind. Romans 12 and 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of the mind. Your pride in man's glory, his rewards, his prestige, or simple complacency, your hate for instructions, or your lack of reverence for the Father is what allows you to continue with your own ideas and inventions, which will eventually lead to your failure. Ecclesiastes 7 and 29. Lo, this only I have found, that God had made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. You have no desire for knowledge, and you hate instruction. Proverbs 1 and 7. The fear, which is the reverence of the Lord, is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Those of you who hate instruction and knowledge are the embodiment of the Gematria 666 cosmic code. Oh, you thought 666 was a COVID shot or the mark of the beast. That's all dogma, but that's an entirely different topic for another time. That is the literal definition for the literal reader. One of the esoteric meanings for 666, simply put, is a cosmic code that restricts or cuts off certain faculties in the body. And this restriction keeps man in a negative mindset, in a state of mental limitation, never being able to reach the higher self. Pistis Sophia. The combination of these energies locks you into a negative mindset of the number 666. It is through the code of this gematria that the abilities of the cosmic code of your higher self are blocked, and instead your sexuality, your emotionality, and all the energy points of your lower body become dysfunctional. The 666 mindset is what makes you not want to learn, make you over-emotional. The creator of the sexual deviance, the reason you embrace the limited animal mindset fixed in darkness. The only way to pierce through this veil is through wisdom and knowledge. Do not confuse this higher knowledge with man's low-level logical sciences, which are limited and were taught to him by higher beings. Higher in comparison to man's limited knowledge in his fallen state, but they too are limited in the larger scale of the cosmos and in comparison to the Most High God. You have faith, but you're stagnant. Why? Yes, hold your faith, but your faith is by heart. And you should know it is not rooted in truth. You must move towards belief, which is rooted, watered, and nurtured by wisdom and knowledge. And to get to this point of consciousness, you must work. Then your faith in heart is rooted in understanding. James 2:24, ye see then that by works a man is justified, not by faith only. James 2:26, for as the body without spirit is dead, faith without works is dead also. So maybe that's not you. And you're someone who absorbs a lot of knowledge, but things that you need are not added to you. Why? Well, some of you use this knowledge to be eloquent of speech, debate, argue points which both parties arguing have never applied, all theory and hypothesis. Esoteric knowledge is meant for application, not for men and women who are weak of will and action. Only a fool argues or debate what he has proven to be true. The man knows this because he or she has done the work. You cannot force someone to see something which they would only get a vision of through hard work and accomplishment, step by step, level by level. Some of you message me, but it is clear you have not learned to silence the mind, so impulsive, but you ask for books teaching of Kabbalah and higher knowledge. But the basics, the foundations you avoid. You can't do a 20-day fruit fast. No will. What divine spirit will trust you with that kind of knowledge? To deny yourself, deny the pleasure of the flesh is to initiate yourself into the mysteries. You don't need no master. You are your own master. And on the flip side, the gatekeeper between you and the knowledge you seek is you. You are your own prison guard. 2 Timothy 1:7, for God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but he gave you power and love and a sound mind. What is the use of knowledge if not applied? Worthless debate and dinner conversation material. Some of you attach labels to yourself like conscious, spirituality, ascension, righteous, but your being and your will does not embody what those things truly represent. They represent the individual soul on the path to attainment, reaching up to the higher self by discarding the personality, which is the lower animal part of the ego called the soul. How do you expect to achieve this goal when at a snap of a finger you're moved to anger? You think evil, no self-control, you just act, no discipline, impulsive, you suffer from fear and weakness. Again, 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given you the spirit of fear, but he gave you power, love, and a sound mind. So who gave you the opposite? All these diseases, fear, hate, and the rest of them that plague humanity, all signs of lack of knowledge and imbalance. The world has taught you to embrace the imbalances, which has made you weak of will. Your flame has become weak and feeble. Even some of you men have been brought down to your knees. It only takes the right storm to out your wick. You see, it is easy to have will for the material and the finite things because the gratification is immediate. But the will to discard the material in order to release the latent God inside you, for that you're weak, simply because there is no instant gratification from self or others. On this lonely journey, what you're guaranteed to get from others is only ridicule, scorn, and contempt, because the swine doesn't know the use of a pearl. But if you are not numbered among the swine, why play in the pig pen? Most of the contempt for you on your journey will come from the home or somewhere close to you. It is a war of attrition. Hold firm. Matthew 10:36. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. It is the material aspirations that bind us to the tomb we call the physical. You're living and breathing, but you're dead, the dry bones. You can't crave spiritual attainment but want it easy, denying yourself the luxury and comfort provided in the physical, which is temporary, is what it takes to attain mastership of self and balance while in the living, and this is everlasting. Imagine wasting your whole life a walking dead, mastered by someone or something other than yourself, just going from hand to hand. Some of you are mastered by your gut. Some of you are mastered by sexual deviant behaviors. Some of you are mastered by your emotions, mastered by addictions. Always smoking something, sipping something, watching something, sexing something. Never actually involved in building the spirit. Always got to be actively doing something not in contrast with order. Never taking the time to realize the actual driver of your vehicle is waiting in the background begging for your attention. Where do you think your depression and mental illness stems from? A conflict of the spirit and the physical. The spirit knows what is necessary to complete the cycle, but you're too busy in the physical world with its temporary rewards. You gotta give something to get something. There is no other way. You gotta change the focal point of the conscious mind. There is no doubt you will encounter the same hurdles and obstructions on the road to unity, the same effects masquerading in a different getup. You're just too blind to see it. Universal law puts you on a loop until you decide to break it. Keys of Enoch. Karma, a universal law of cause and effect, which provides the soul with the opportunity for physical, mental, and spiritual growth. Keys of Enoch 306. In other words, at the end of an evolutionary cycle, if the genetic code of an individual soul is not deemed worthy for the next step function of species regeneration into light, the soul is placed one or several biological step functions back. Ignore it, and the next time it returns in a different fashion. And ultimately, if you have not gained recognition, the soul will regress and is placed backwards in terms of its progression. It will continue to do this until you wake up one day and realize it is the same thing and you must change your cause. Analyze your cause before you put them into motion so you can dictate your effect. You can't bring this to Jesus, especially you black folk. Jesus, one of the esoteric definitions, because there is more than one meaning, it is a regenerative seed, the Hebrew noon. It is you on the path to your regeneration, the seed on the path to regeneration. That doctrine that Jesus will save you if you just believe in him has crippled most of Western civilization. It is responsible to a large degree for discouraging the individual growth, your internal individual growth specifically, and you taking complete responsibility for the progression of your own soul. This idol, that false white Jesus, and the doctrine that followed it, and the ideology projected by this image through the church is the source of your conditioning and limitation. It was the beginning of the outsourcing and embracing of the imbalances and faults, which is within the individual soul, because you were told since you were a child that the sins, which is another name for imbalance, has already been taken care of, and all you need to do now is believe, and this is a lie. I said all that to say this. Some of you have been asking me for solutions for your imbalances, your fear, your depression, your weakness, your diet, etc. Some of you want the divine to pour inside you so you can have a clearer understanding of things. But you seem not to take instructions well. The Father has given you the fast, and I took the time to gather all the information on the fast, narrow it down, and put it into one place. But you still ask me to help you with your imbalances. You hear instructions, and you can try, but you cannot go around the law. It will always end in your failure. Proverbs 8:33, hear instructions and be wise, refuse it not. To refuse instruction is to stray from understanding. Proverbs 21:16, the man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. You stray from the land of the living to suffer with the dead, but you're physically alive. You depart from the Most High to live in darkness and ignorance. You have chosen not to know the ways, which is the 32 paths, in order to retrace your steps and return to the tree of life. YHVH. Job 21:14, therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not knowledge of thy ways. This is the instruction. Not from me, I am just the mouthpiece. Revelation 3:11, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man can take your crown. The fast, it takes away all imbalances, darkness, and bondage of every kind. Isaiah 58:6, is it not the fast that I have chosen, to loose the bands of wickedness unto thy heavy burdens, and to let the oppressed go free, and ye break every yoke? The fast was created for all these ailments that binds man to negativity. But it is the continual fast, not for a couple days. It is to be your livity, your life. It is to be your way of living. Apocalypse of Elijah. From the time when he created the heavens, the Lord created the fast for a benefit to men on account of the passions and desires, that is your lower self, which fight against you, and that evil that will inflame you. But it is a pure fast, which I have created, said the Lord, the one who fasts continually. not for 7 days, not for 40 days, will not sin. But a pure fast is what I've created with pure heart and with pure hands. It releases sin. It heals diseases. It casts out the demons, those demons that make you have those sexual deviant behaviors. It is effective up to the throne of God for an ointment. It is what opens the pineal and gives you divine connection, and for the release from your sin by means of a pure prayer. Those who oppose the truth, which is the law, will say there is no such thing, or this law has been done away with. Apocalypse of Elijah. Hear, O wise men of the land, concerning the deceivers who will multiply in the last days, so that they will set down for themselves doctrines which do not belong to God, setting aside the law of God. Those who have made their belly their God, saying the fast does not exist. God did not create it, making themselves strangers to the covenant of God and robbing themselves of the glorious promise. Therefore, don't let these people lead you astray. Now, the meaning of fast. Fast is an acronym. F-A-S-T. F, your food. Eat the purest food. Genesis 1:29. No gluttony. Proverbs 23:21. A, alcohol. Drink no liquor, no wine. Proverbs 23:21. Sex. Lust. Negative desires. 1 Corinthians 6:9. T, transmutation, change negative low energy into positive high energy. Romans 12:2 and 2 Ezra 14:34. Fast continually. It is to be your way of living, not starving yourself for a period of time and then returning to your dirty habits. F, the beginning is your food. Cut out the meat. Eat what the body was designed to consume. Fruit and vegetables, and do not overeat. It ferments and poisons the blood. This is not for 7 days or 40 days. It is a continual fast. Alcohol also poisons the blood. Sex, it destroys the regenerative seed. Transmute the anger, the hate, and the negative thoughts into light. This fast is continual. Do this and you will be free, but you cannot do it halfway. You cannot serve two masters. For more information on the fast, watch my video called FAST. And remember, Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. I'm out of here.